So, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is nearly upon us. The spiritual successor to Castlevania and led by former Castlevania producer Koji Igarashi. A lot of people have been excited for this. A lot of people have been waiting for this for a hell of a long time. This started as a Kickstarter campaign about 4 years ago. I believe it was 2015 this went live. They got almost 65,000 backers, $5.5 million, flipping nuts. Now, any Kickstarter campaign is usually marred in controversy when it comes to games because of delays and graphic style and so on and so forth, right? I'm not the biggest Kickstarter fan. I have barely pledged anything on Kickstarter. You see, okay, throw burrito. Come on now, man. I want to throw some burritos around. That's what I'm talking about. The stuff from Retro Fighters, I'm really digging their stuff. The Dreamcade Replay, I really regret that. Full Quiet, holy crap, man. This is like the only game that I've backed. It was almost a couple years ago, year and a half ago. I backed the test cart plus complete in box. These guys are a little quiet on their updates, but hopefully soon. But I typically don't back games. And there's a lot of people who back this, and there was a lot of people who have criticized this game as they showed gameplay footage, little sneak peeks, alpha builds, stuff like that. And wow, I know I stated this in my Sonic the Hedgehog movie, video where I talked about the director saying, you know what, we listened, we're changing it. Well, I didn't realize that around the same time, they did the same thing with Bloodstained. There were so many people who were disappointed in the graphic style that they said, you know what, we're fixing this for you guys. We're taking care of this. How often does that happen? Holy crap. Twice now in a week, right? So that is pretty cool. We're going to take a look at some footage of that in a second. But even with that going on, them upgrading the graphics, and it does look like a beautiful game. I am purchasing this for sure. I did not back it. I did not, but you know what? I could still buy it, but there's still some controversy going on. If you cruise through on Kickstarter, go to the comments section, you'll still see a lot of people, a little disappointed, not with the upgrades to the game, but the downgraded Switch version that's supposed to release a week later. So all the other versions like PS4, so on and so forth, are supposed to come out June 18th, and then a week later, the Switch version comes out. I did read a response on here somewhere that said they're still trying to target that Switch version to come out the same day, but they can't promise anything. But there's still a lot of people on here who are disappointed that the Switch port runs at 720, 30 frames per second, and whereas the other versions don't. But that's a thing that sucks with Switch ports, is it's a mixed bag. Either I don't really think they beat them. I wanted to say they meet or beat. They don't really meet or beat other ports. They can meet some ports, but beating them, not so much. A lot of times they're either a little gimped or they meet what is being released elsewhere. But that's just the nature of the Switch. Switch is a lot less powerful system. It's geared towards a lot of people wanting to play it in handheld mode, so on and so forth. But yeah, if you dig through the comment section, which is always an entertaining time to dig through the comment section on Kickstarter campaigns, seeing all the complaints, and there's a lot of positivity as well. The other big thing that I noticed reading through some of these comments is that people are disappointed with that Switch version, right? And they're wanting to change it. They're like, I don't want the Switch version anymore. I either want the PC or the PS4 version. Come on, bro, hook it up. And there's responses on here that are like, sorry, we had to put in how many we needed, how many codes, how many physical, so on and so forth. We cannot change it any longer. Just not going to happen. But then there were other posts where people had said, can I switch? And this was just within a week or two ago, and they allowed them to switch. So I'll put a link to the Kickstarter campaign. If you didn't pledge, doesn't matter. You could still read through a lot of the stuff on here, as far as the comments and the updates and whatnot. But let's go ahead and take a look at their little trailer, which I felt was really cool. The release date announcement with how they decided to go about doing this. So here it is. No audio though. We're just going to take a look. I'll put a link to this as well so you can check it out. But I really like the way they did this with showing like, hey, there were some issues. Like, hey, look at this. You know, to me, it doesn't look too bad, but then they start popping up all these complaints. But boy, does this look rough. I had my hopes. Polish the crap out of the game. Bad character animation, bad textures. Look at the backgrounds. Detail is not good. This game looks so bland. And the complaints go on and on and on. Looks like poop. And I guess they agreed, you know what? Our fans don't want this. Here we go. The man himself takes a sip of that wine. Todd, I'll prove them wrong. Poop versus new. And yes, you could really see the upgrade. I think it looks really nice. I mean, the old version doesn't look too bad for me, but I do see that there was quite a bit of lack of detail. And looking at this new version, wow, they really shined it up. So that is definitely cool and exciting to see a developer saying, you know what, people didn't like what they saw. Let's fix it. We're not going to have a Mighty Number 9 again, right? Even though, you know, to be fair, I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily the right way to say it, but to be fair, Mighty Number 9, I actually enjoyed that game. I wasn't one of the people who heavily criticized it. It was an okay game. It wasn't amazing. It was fairly bland. It wasn't that great looking, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I'm more disappointed. Oh, I didn't even see that last part there. Holy crap, that was pretty cool. But with Mighty Number 9, what I was more disappointed with, I almost lost my train of thought. I thought that little pixel art animation was pretty cool. But with Mighty Number 9, my biggest disappointment was the planned versions for everything else. I still say to this day that there has to be at some point some kind of class action lawsuit for the PS4, the PS4 version, because right on the box it says that it comes with the Vita version. And being honest with you, I really wanted the Vita version. Where the frick is my Vita version? Ain't happening. It's just not happening. So things like that, man, with Kickstarter campaigns, over-promising things. Like with this, I'm still not even 100% with some of these, you know, if you guys have more information, share it with me. But with these milestones, Bloodstained comes to Wii U, available for all tiers, physical and digital. Are they still doing that? Because that milestone was met. Bloodstained for Vita, physical and digital. There's no more physical Vita games. So if this wasn't already produced, that's not happening, right? So I could really see there being some disappointment with some of this stuff already if it doesn't happen. I just don't see the Vita version happening because I'm pretty sure like Limited Run Games, for example, all of their Vita games, they have them because the final productions were done. So any games that they're releasing in the future, those will ship fairly quick because they have them, because production had to be done because it's being cut off. Now, is it the same thing with Bloodstained for the Vita? I don't know, but like I said, I didn't join this Kickstarter, but I was just kind of sifting through this because over the past couple of years, I've been hearing a lot about this game. You know, people in the community, viewers of my channel, talking about this, showing me stuff with this, and I was like, you know, this is a really good game. But man, I mean, the other part of it too is, you know, Kickstarter. Here's one of the biggest problems with Kickstarter is you feel like you're investing in a project and you should have first dibs, right? You should get what you want, not when you want it, but when it's ready, right? And get it before everybody else because you made the project possible. And in the case of most of these Kickstarters, at least the ones I've followed, I can't say most of them, because I know people will be like, dude, what about this? What about that? Stuff that I have no clue about. But the stuff I've experienced, I have seen a lot of people wind up getting products before the Kickstarters did. And I don't think that's fair to hold something, you know, to hold it back from the general public a little while, I think is a fair trade-off for you going to get your game, you know, backed by people, to not have to put in the the monetary risk yourself. You're having the community put their money in and risk their money versus you. That's the one thing I criticize with Kickstarter is, not everything, a lot of things does make sense, to kickstart something to get it going. But some companies do tend to go to it instead of taking that financial risk themselves when they can. They'd rather the community do so it's no sweat off their balls. It's just the harsh reality. Some people who go to Kickstarter, they have excellent ideas. They have great products. They don't have the financial backing themselves, so it makes sense. But man, like with this game, Bloodstained, it seems like it's going to be the same thing. People are wondering, well, this is like a month and a week away from the recording of this. What about Kickstarter backers? What about all these extra things that we backed, the Alchemist treasure bundle, all these things, all these physical rewards and special rewards, art books, so on and so forth. When am I getting my game? And it seems like a lot of people are going to be disappointed because the way it's going to go, or at least the way I'm seeing it from my investigative work, is that pretty much if you back this, you're going to get it around the same time that a person like me who did not back it is going to go to the store and pick it up. If not later, you might get it later because a lot of times these retail stores, they'll get their copies in ahead of time. And then the Kickstarter stuff is sifting through that fulfillment. You may still get yours a little later. Hopefully that's not the way it works, but it's just the harsh reality, man. It always seems like something doesn't go as planned. But I am definitely excited for this game. I just wanted to share some of my thoughts, some of the things I've seen, and the community at large who've backed this, saying, hey, we don't like what we're seeing. It looks cool, but looks like poo with certain things. And they said, you know what, we're fixing that. So definitely kudos to that. Hopefully everything else works out. People get their games. People are happy with the Switch port. Switch port running at 720, 30 frames per second. I don't know. If it looks like a stuttery mess, that's a different story. But I think people are really kind of antsy on that because of the PAX stuff where they had demos and supposedly the units were overheating and the games weren't running properly on the Switch. So I think that's stuck in people's minds on that. To me, if it's in 720p, 30 frames per second, and it runs fine, I don't think I would necessarily be too upset with that. I mean, I'm still not sure which version I'm going to get, if I'm going to get PS4, PC, or Switch version. I tend to lean towards the Switch versions, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But there you go. Share your comments down below. I read everything, guys. Help a brother out here. Comment. Smash that stupid ass like button. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to this channel. Share this channel. Help a brother out. We're desperate here. Well, not really. We're not really desperate, but man, we're almost at 60,000 subscribers. That is flipping nuts. This channel's been going on for a little over 2 years now. I am extremely grateful to you guys. Really do appreciate it. But hey, let's keep it going. Share the channel. Let people know of videos that I do that you like. I know you don't like them all, but hey, the ones you do like, share them out there. So with that said, I will catch y'all next time. Peace out, bye-bye, and boom. Bye.